My name is Chris from ProWeb Digital. In this video, I will walk you through the practical step-by-step guide on how you can register a school in Nigeria. So just in case you want to register your school and you have been searching for a way on how you can go about your school registration, then this video is for you. Kindly stay tuned and watch this content from the beginning to the end so that you will learn the practical step-by-step guide on how you can get your school registered through the Corporate Affairs Commission. So just in case this is your first time of visiting our YouTube channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and smash the notification bell so that you will get updated whenever we publish great content like this in the future. And again, if you are interested in joining our masterclass where you will learn how to carry out different forms of registration, you can visit our website at elearning.prowebdigital.com.ng and get yourself enrolled to our masterclass. Having said this, let's dive into the practical section. The Affairs Commission is very simple, like ABCD. It requires about 4 steps or stages to get your school registered. The first one is you need to create an account as an individual. That is, if you're carrying out this registration yourself, you need to sign up through the Corporate Affairs Commission to create an account. Then the second phase is for you to search for the availability of the school name. So let's take for instance that you want to register ABC Nursery and Primary School. There is need for you to confirm if such name is available before you can proceed and apply for name reservation. Then the third step is you need to apply for name reservation. So having searched for the availability of the school name that you intend to register, there is need for you to now apply for the reservation of the name through the Corporate Affairs Commission, and everything is done online. Number 4 is you need to file application for registration. So when CAC might have approved your proposed school name, then you can now proceed with the main registration. So this video covers everything. It covers the process flow starting from the account creation stage down to you filing your application for registration. It's very simple. Now the first thing is create an account. It's very simple. All you just have to do is for you to visit the Corporate Affairs Commission to create an account. Go to your browser and type cac.gov.ng. that is the website of the commission, cac.gov.ng. Now from the home page of the website, scroll down and click on online registration. Then you click on register. Scroll down under NIN details. There are 2 options here. It is neither you use your phone number or your NIN. So I'll be using phone number in this case. This phone number is not real, so you don't have to call it. So when you insert your phone number, click on next, you'll now be directed to this online form where you are to provide your personal details. Now if the school is for you, then you can use your own personal details to create the account. But if the school is for someone else, that is, if the school registration is for someone else, you need to use the person's own personal details to create the account. So under authorized representative, you have to provide the following information as required. So when you are done providing the necessary information, then you click on register. As soon as you click on register, the commission will send an automatic email address to you to confirm your account. So you have to go to your email address inbox, click on it, confirm your account, then you will now have access to log in to your account. So that's how it is. It is very simple. Now the second step is for you to search for the availability of the school name you intend to register. So let me go back to my browser. I will type CAC search. Go to your browser, type CAC search, click on the first option here, which is search.cac.gov.ng. So let's assume that I want to register Adebola Memorial School. I need to search to confirm if the name of the school is available. You can see search not found, therefore I can proceed with the registration. But before then, let me just search using just these two keywords, which is Adebola Memorial. Adebola Memorial still available. Let me use Adebola. Definitely I will see Adebola, so many names, but the exact school name which I want to use for my registration is available. Then I can now proceed with the next step, which is to apply for name reservation. So it's very simple. Now let me show you how you can apply for name reservations. So far we have been able to look at how you can create an account. Number two, how you can search for the availability of the name you intend to register. Then the third part is how you can apply for name reservation. I will go back to my browser. From the home page, search for online registration, or from your browser you can just type pre.cac.gov.ng/login. I want to login/login, so whichever. So this is the login dashboard. Start by inputting your username, enter your password. So now I want to show you how you can apply for name reservation, but before then I need to explain this interface. Now this is called the CRP, which is the company registration portal. This is where all the pre-incorporation services is being carried out. So if you want to register a school, you want to register a business name, you want to register a company, you want to register an NGO, this is the page where all of that is being carried out. In fact, this is, should I call it, the powerhouse. You understand? This is where everything is being done. The dashboard is divided into two parts. The first part is the name reservations section, while the second part is the registration. So if you want to carry out name reservation, it is being done through this part here. Under the name reservations, you see this power button, so this button here, new name reservation. So this is where you will carry out your name reservation, and you can track the progress of your application through this module here. So you can see the not submitted option section, you can see the pending or queried, you can see denied and reserved. Now when you start an application and you're unable to submit it or complete it, it would appear under not submitted. When you finally when you complete your application and it has been sent to the commission for review, it will appear under pending. And at the same time, if the commission review your proposed application for name reservation and they queried it, it will still appear under this section for you to rework on it. Then the denied is when the commission declined your proposed name, it will appear under denied. Then the last module is if the commission approved your proposed name, it will appear under this section. Our major focus is for us to apply for name reservation, so we click on new name reservation. Scroll down under company type classification, you have to select company. Note that you cannot register a school as a business name that it used to be in those days. Now for you to register a school, it has to fall under a limited liability company. So under specific type, I will select private company limited by shares. Under proposed names, this is where you have to type in your proposed school name. Adebola Memorial School. Then add the word limited to it because a company. Copy and paste under option 2. Then you click on save and continue. You will now be directed to the reason for availability search. I will select new incorporation because this is a new registration. Then click on save and continue. You will now be directed to the preview stage where you have to go through your application and confirm if it is correct. I'm okay with it. Then click on save and continue and make your payment. It's very simple. So after making your payment, you still need to go back to the dashboard to confirm that your application has been submitted. You need to be very sure, because there are cases whereby there will be network issue. Now after making your payment, instead of your application to be submitted, it will go back to not submitted. So therefore you need to go back to the dashboard under not submitted module, click on it and confirm if your application is still hanging there. So if your application is still hanging there, that simply means your application have not been submitted to the commission for review. So therefore you need to reconfirm payment before your application will now be submitted successfully. So take note of that. So this is the dashboard. So after making your payment, like I told you earlier, you need to go back to the dashboard and confirm. Go to your pending, click on it and check, is your application under the pending module. If your application is under the pending module, that simply means it has been submitted. But in a situation whereby your application is not under the pending module, that means your application have not been submitted. So therefore you need to go back to the not submitted module, click on it and search for your application. This is one of the application I worked on. You can see it have not been submitted. So I thought that it has been submitted, whereas it is still under not submitted. So when you experience an issue like this, you don't need to panic. All you just have to do is for you to click on check payment status. So guys, when you click on confirm payment status, the system will confirm if the payment was successful, and if the payment is successful, then your application will be validated and automatically be sent to the commission for review. That's how it works. But if the payment was not successful, you'll be notified and you need to get that result before your application can now be submitted successfully. Hi everyone, you're welcome to ProWeb Digital e-learning hub. We are still on how you can register a school in Nigeria. In our last section, we are able to cover how you can apply for name reservation. Now we're going to be looking at how you can file your application for registration after CAC might have approved your proposed school name. It is very simple if only you can pay close attention to what I'm about to show you. Now the first thing is for you to log into your dashboard, which is the CRP dashboard. Then from the dashboard, under name reservations, click on reserve. So when you click on reserved, you'll be directed to all your reserved applications. So let me select the school that I want to work on. You have seen the school. Click on start registration. When you click on start registration, you will now be directed to the main registration page. So guys, this is how the registration page look like. It has about 11 stages. The first one is entity details, second one is objects of memorandum, third article of association, fourth directors, fifth secretary, sixth statement of issued share capital, 7 is persons with significant control, 8 statement of compliance, 9 document upload, 10 preview, and 11 is payment. So let's start with the first step, which is entity details. At this point, we would like to know more about the educational services that you do render. Now under principal business activity classification 1, you have to select education because what you're trying to register is a school. Then under principal business activity classification 2, you have to select the exact type of school you intend to register. Now there are so many options here, but try to go through each of the options and see the one that best suits the kind of the type of school you want to establish. Now if your focus is a conventional school where you want to register nursery, primary and secondary school that promote Western education, then you have to select you have to select the objective or the classification that suits what your school stands for. Now you can see something like operate crèche and daycare, operate Islamic school, operate nursery and primary school, operate primary and secondary school. But in this case, we are trying to register an Islamic school, so I will select operate Islamic school here. Then under principal activity description, I will type Islamic education. Then you have to provide the email address of the school, phone number, then registered address. It's very simple. When you're done providing all relevant information, then click on save and continue. You'll now be directed to the second section, which is object of memorandum. The object of memorandum represents the main activity of the school. Now at this point, since we would like to know more about the school, so here I typed to promote Islamic education because that is the purpose, that is the objective of the school. Now if you want to add an additional object of memorandum, all you just have to do is for you to click on add another object and type in the object here. Then when you are done typing, you click on add and it will be added to the object list. But for now I don't need that. Click on save and continue. You will now be directed to the third section, which is article of association. Now the article of association is a document that defines the power and responsibilities of those charged with governance of the school or the company. But before you proceed in uploading or adopting the article of association that will be provided to you by the commission, you need to provide a witness. So in this place or in this space, I'm going to add witness details starting by the surname, first name, other name, and other relevant personal data of the witness. Now please note that a witness is not a director, a witness is not a shareholder of the company. A witness is just a person that stand in as someone that observed the registration of the company, someone that witnessed, that confirmed that yes, truly indeed the school was registered through the Corporate Affairs Commission. So that is who a witness stands for. Now after adding your witness, then you can now adopt or upload your article of association. There are two ways in which you can get the article of association. It is either you contact a lawyer to assist you to process one for you, or you can adopt the default article of association that CAC has. In this case, I adopted the default article of association, all by just clicking on adopt article of association. So when you click on adopt here, automatically it will be uploaded. So this is how the default article of association look like. You can go through it part by part, page by page, and make any adjustments as it suits your choice. Now for you to make any adjustment, you can click on edit in any section. When you click on edit, you'll now be directed to where you can edit any of the content. After editing it, you can save it and before you can proceed to the next section. But for now, I don't want to edit anything. So I'll scroll down to the last page and click on save and continue. When you click on save and continue, you'll now be directed to the fourth section, which is directors. Under director, you have to provide the personal details of the director. Then when you are done providing personal details of director, click on save and continue so that you'll be directed to the next section, which is secretary. Now there are two forms of secretary here. The first one is the individual secretary, while the second one is corporate secretary. So whichever is acceptable. Now the question is, what make up the individual secretary and what is the corporate secretary all about? The individual secretary is a person that is being appointed by the company or the school to carry out secretariat services. Let's take for instance that the school appointed Adebisi Adebola to be the secretary of the school. Then we can say that Adebisi is an individual secretary because he got appointed by his personal legal name. But in a situation whereby the school outsources the function of secretary by appointing a firm, then such firm could be seen as a corporate secretary. But in our own case here, we don't need a secretary, it is optional. So I'll click here to proceed to the next level. The sixth stage is the statement of issue share capital. So please and please, this section is very important. On that type of company, you have to select entity with shares below 5 million. Since we're registering a school, the recommended, we can register it since we're registering a school, the authorized share capital we are gonna use is 1 million. So that is, you can use 1 million, you can use 200,000, but not below 100,000, because the minimum share capital going by the Company and Allied Matters Act is 100,000. That is the baseline, but you can register above. But note that there are some organizations, specialized organizations like banks, insurance company, finance house, that you have to register it based on their authorized share capital. But in a case like this, there is no authorized share capital in registering a school, so therefore you can register the school with any issue share capital, but not below 100,000 naira. Now, under total company issue share capital, we are going to select 1 million naira. The share capital represents the amount of money that will be used to establish the entity or the school, right? Now, when you type in the numerical figure of this share capital, it automatically transcribes to words, as you can see it on my laptop screen. Sorry. Number 2 is the breakdown of total company issue share capital. Now, the CAC, which is the commission, would like to know more about the type of share and what amount make up the total value of shares. Now we'll start with the first one, which is class of shares. There are two classes of shares. Let me click on edit so that you understand what I'm talking about. There are two classes of shares. The first one is the preference, the second one is equity ordinary share. The equity ordinary shares are shares owned by the owners of the company, the ordinary shareholders. These are people who are seen as the risk takers of the entity, so therefore they are the equity or ordinary shareholders, while preference shares, on the other hand, are seen as shareholders, but they are not registered or seen as the main owners of the company, because at the end of the day they are entitled to a fixed dividend, and in the case of resolution they are among the first set of people that will be paid before the ordinary shareholders, will be paid off before the ordinary shareholders. So I'm going to select equity ordinary shares here, select this. Now under issue share capital, like I told you, it is the amount of money used in establishing an entity. You type in the amount, which is 1 million naira, then they divided into the number of shares is 1 million naira, and 1 million units of shares. Then when you say 1 million, which is the share capital in amount or in naira, divided by the unit of shares, it will give you a nominal value of 1 naira. That means the value of each shares is 1 naira. Let's assume that we want to change this capital to 2 million naira. You will observe that the nominal value of shares would now change to what? 2 naira. So that is how the system work. Details. Let's look at shareholders. Now, a shareholder is a person that has an investment in a school or a company. So whenever a person or an entity has a stake or an investment in another organization, such a person will be seen as a shareholder. Now there are three forms of shareholder. The first one is the individual shareholder, the second one is the corporate shareholder, while the third one is the minor shareholder. So let's start with the first one, individual shareholder. The individual shareholder is a person that owns a share in another company, a person that owns a share in a company. So let's take for instance that Adebisi Bola bought shares from the school or bought shares in a company. Adebisi Adebola will be seen as an individual shareholder, because while a corporate shareholder is a situation whereby an entity, let's take for instance that MTN purchased shares from Zenith Bank. Now MTN could be seen as a corporate shareholder. The minor shareholder is a shareholder that is below the age of 18. So that is how it is. Now in our own case, we created an individual shareholder. Let me show you. All you just have to do is for you to input personal details of the shareholder: name, phone number, email address, date of birth, gender, occupation, address. So when you're done with that, then you move to the next level, which is share allotment. Share allotment deals with allocation of shares among the respective shareholder. So let's take for instance that the total value of the share is 1 million naira, and about 2 to 3 people come together to contribute that 1 million naira. Let's say that the first person has 50% shareholding in the school, and the remaining 2 persons owns about 25%. Now if you are doing allocation, we are going to allocate 50% of the share to Mr. A, which is 50% of 1 million will give you 500,000. That's what share allotment is all about. It deals with sharing or dividing the shares among the respective shareholder. So what you're going to do is, under type of share, to select the type of share that the persons own, number of shares allotted. So you're going to allot the shares based on percentage ownership. If the person owns 50% of 1 million, then you have to type in 500,000 as the number of what shares owns in the organization or company or school. But in our own case, this person owns complete 100%. That is the reason we are typing 1 million units of shares, because 100% of 1 million will still give you 1 million. So that's how it is. We are done providing number of shares allocation. Then prescribe particulars. I select the first option, which is particulars of any voting right, including rights that arise only in certain circumstances. Then you click on add shareholder. Automatically that will be updated under your shareholder list. Then you click on save and continue. Then you click on save and continue, so that you'll be directed to the next level, which is persons with significant control. Now the person with significant control is a shareholder that owns more than 5% shareholding in an entity. So that is how it is. You can make any adjustments if you wished and proceed to the next level. The next section is statement of compliance. You have to input personal details of any of the director, just to satisfy that they have complied with the relevant provisions of the law while carrying out the registration. Then click on save and continue. You'll now be directed to the 9th section, which is document upload. You have to upload all relevant documents as prescribed. The first one, as you can see on my laptop screen, is a means of identification. Second one is the signature of the witness, and so on and so forth. That's how you proceed one after the other. Please note that the means of identification, the file formats must be in PDF, so take note of that. When you are done uploading all relevant documents, you click on save and continue, so that you'll be directed to the 10th section, which is preview. The preview section is very important. You need to go through your application and ensure that it is free from error. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. Go through your application, and if you're okay with it, then you click on proceed to payment. Although for me, I have made payment for this particular registration. Now there are 2 types of payments you're going to make. The first payment is filing fee. So we are done with the filing fee payment. Then you proceed to the next payment, which is stamp duty. So pay stamp duty by clicking on this button. Stamp duty, their site is down. Now when you are done making payment for stamp duty, your application will now be submitted to the commission for them to review and approve. So please take note that after submitting your application, after making payment for stamp duty and it was successful, you need to go back to your dashboard to confirm if your application have been submitted. So under pending, you have to confirm it here. So if your application appear under this section, under pending registration, then you can say that your application has been submitted to the commission for review. But if your application still appear under not submitted, you still need to go back and confirm payment by just clicking on stamp duty. Let's confirm this payment or filing fee. I will click on the dialog box. It said filing fee paid. So let's confirm that of stamp duty. It will not direct you to this dashboard for you to input your remitter number. That is the reason why he said while making payment, endeavor to copy your remitter number. It is very, very important. Input your remitter number here and click on validate. So if the payment is successful, it will be validated and your application will now be submitted. So that is how it is. It's very simple. So that's all about how you can register a school through the Corporate Affairs Commission online. So if you would like to enroll in any of our courses, you can check out other courses in our website and get yourself enrolled. Thank you and remain blessed.